Welcome everyone, Lonnie Payne here with my first Fiero video. This video is just kind of an introduction to the car, so let's go take a look. All right, a little intro to the Fiero. It's in pretty nice shape externally. Favorite color red, so that's good. Doesn't have stock wheels. I kind of like the wheels that are on it, so I'm going to keep them. I haven't done anything underneath, so I've got to fix some brake issues. It doesn't have an emergency brake on it anymore because of a conversion, so I'm going to fix all that stuff. It was originally a solid top. Put an aftermarket sunroof in here. Don't care for it. I'm going to try and maybe put a stock or a factory sunroof in. I'm working with somebody on getting the parts to do that. All right, on the inside you can see I've got the door panels off. All that hardware is going to come off. I got to put new motors in, take the tint off, retint them. So that's pretty much going to be all rebuilt back to new condition. And seats are okay. The emergency brake, like I said, is not connected, so I'm going to fix that. And when I bought the car, it had these silver gauges, which I'll show you in a little bit. So I went ahead and bought a used set of gauges. I like the black better, so have installed those. Everything works. I got to calibrate the fuel gauge. I don't think it's indicating quite right. And I got an oil pressure issue, which on a conversion of this thing, it was a Cadillac engine, so only indicates, nothing or max scale. So I've got to put the correct oil pressure sender in there. Got the center console out working on it. We'll show you that here in a little bit. I have rebuilt I bought a stereo. Try and get a little bit better light in there for you. I bought one of the factory stereos that came in it, rebuilt the cassette player. Also put a Bluetooth adapter behind it so you don't see it, but you can still play your Bluetooth on it, but I like everything to look factory. Rebuilt the air conditioning unit head there. So inside, it's looking pretty good. Not a lot of work to do in there. Put a new scoop on it. Thought that looked cool. And I briefly mentioned about the conversion. This is one of the coolest things on this car. They either came with a 4 or 6 cylinder. This one originally had a 6 cylinder in it, but now it's got a Cadillac V8. This engine is from a 1993 Cadillac DeVille, and you can see, man, it's tight in there, but this thing's got some kick. So got a few little minor things got to do. Eventually I'll rebuild the motor. Don't need to do that right now though. But I'll end up rebuilding the suspension and fixing the brakes. And one of these days I'll go all in on it. But I'm making it a really nice driver, and then when I have more time I'll completely restore it, and I'll document that whole process as well. But that's kind of a little brief tour of the Fiero, and here are the two door panels. They're in pretty nice shape. They've already been cleaned up. A little bit of carpet. This is the driver's side, so you see a little bit like where your knee rests, a little bit of fraying on the fuzziness on the carpet. Got a little bit of structural issue got to fix here where the mirror control goes, but no big deal. Center console, got a little bit of lifting on the edge. Had to glue back the other part goes around the radio. Leaving all that stuff off right now so I can work on the cruise control. The handles, they all look pretty nice. And here are some of the parts ready to go on. And then I've got two different instrument bezels. That's the only thing that's not on the instrument cluster right now. Decide which one of those I like best and put them on. So these were the gauges that were originally in the car. These are not stock. There's some kind of a sticker type thing on the gauge to give them the silver, and they have a little bit of pink hue because Pontiac has the orange lighting in it. And fuel gauge didn't work. Speedometer gauge was about 10 miles under your speed. Tachometer never moved. And then these were the two rally gauges, and they worked fine, but you hardly could see the battery and oil pressure light, whereas they really look nice in the car now. So I didn't like these gauges. and saw several of them didn't work, so I went ahead and bought the used set of nice gauges and put them in, and I really like those a lot better, and now all the gauges work except I need to adjust the fuel gauge. So that was what it was originally in it, but I just didn't like it, so I went ahead and swapped it over to the stock gauges. Well, that's an introduction to the Fiero. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please keep checking back. I'm going to document all the stuff I do to it. Please like, subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.